Good morning, guys. So today what we're going to be talking about is going to be variables, and I will be giving you your list of materials for either or way you're going to go with your experiment for your final project. Well, first of all, there are three variables, but a variable is any factor that can be changed or controlled. Okay, that's what a variable is. It's either it's going to be changed or we're going to be controlling that factor. Now, there are three types of variable that we're going to talk about right now. The first one is the independent variable. And that is the one condition that you change in the experiment. Okay, the one condition you change in the experiment. So an example would be, I don't know, if I was taking the temperature and seeing how something would dissolve based on temperature. So the thing that I'm changing would be the temperature. The second variable is called the dependent variable. And that is the variable that you measure or observe. Okay, and the dependent variable gets its name because it depends on what you are changing or the state of the independent variable. So going back to solubility rate versus temperature, right? I'm trying to see if, salt is going to dissolve faster in hot water, cold water, or room temperature water. Well, my independent variable is the temperature of the water. But what I'm observing or measuring is the solubility, or how it's going to dissolve, how the salt is going to dissolve. Then our last type of variable is going to be your controlled variable. Or it can also be called control group. And it's a variable that does not change during an experiment. Okay, it's not going to change during the experiment. So in the example that I'm giving you for temperature, the effective temperature on solubility, the controlled variable could include the source of the water. So I could say, you know what, I'm going to use tap water, and that's not going to change. It's going to be cold tap water, room temperature tap water, and hot tap water. Or I could choose the types and size of containers I'm using to mix, right? Or the amount of time. So I'm just going to keep something constant, right? Controlled. It's something that is not going to change throughout the entire experiment. So talking about our banana lab or a banana experiment that we've been working on, we have to determine what are our variables in our experiment. So we've got actually two routes we can go. Let me look for the black marker. Yep. So option one, I'm going to fold it in half. Okay. And option two. Okay. Option one is the one we were going to wrap the bananas on a plastic. So wrap bananas with plastic. And option two is basically different temperatures and how it's going to affect the oxidation process of the banana. So bananas at different temperature. Okay, so you've got two options. You can go with this lab. In option one, our independent variable, our dependent variable, and our constant variable. Okay. Remember, independent variable is the condition that we are changing in the experiment. A dependent variable is what we're going to measure, and our constant is going to be something that we are not going to change. So for sure, the thing that we're not changing is that the bananas come from the same bulk. Okay, that's something that's going to stay constant. All the bananas are going to come from the same bulk. For our independent variable, something that we're going to change. So what we are doing is we're wrapping bananas in the plastic. Okay, so what we're going to do is wrap or plastic wrap And then what we're observing is going to be the number of dark spots on bananas. Okay, over a specific amount of time, you know. And then the time, we can also have another variable, which is going to be time, and that is going to be the amount of days you're observing this. On lab number 2, let me drink some water. Or on option number 2 for your lab, so we have our independent variable, our dependent variable, and our controlled variable. Well, we know that bananas are our control group because they're coming from the same bulk. So bananas come from the same bulk and time. Okay. Now, what are we changing here in this option 2? Well, we're getting the bananas at different temperatures. So our independent variable is going to be our temperature. And our dependent variable, again, it's going to be the number of dark spots on the bananas. So number of dark spots on bananas. Okay, so now we have our independent variable, our dependent variable, and our control variable for our both of the options of the lab we can do. Now, there are different ways you can do it, right? I'm going to focus, or what is the lab I'm going to do, and today I'm going to go by the bananas, is going to be option 1. Okay, so the things I'm going to need for option 1. So I'm going to put materials. Okay, materials. Well, I know I'm going to need a bulk of bananas. Okay, and I would say from 6 to 8 bananas in total. You're gonna need plastic wrap. And well, pen, pencil, paper, so that you can take notes and observations and, you know, counting, and just know what day, how many days you're observing this for. And then for your option 2, materials, you would need a bulk of bananas, again 6 to 8 bananas, and you're going to need a fridge, freezer. Okay, now when it comes to procedures, right? When it comes to procedures, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to separate, let's say my bulk is of 6 bananas. I'm going to take 3 of them, and together as a bulk, right, I'm going to wrap that plastic, that top part of the banana. And then I'm going to separate the 3 bananas that are left over, and I'm going to wrap those individually. Okay, so let's say this one is individually wrapped, and then the other one is going to, or the other individual or it's going to be the 3 of them in a the 3 of them in a bulk. So here's 1 banana, here's 2 bananas, and here's 3 bananas. That looks weird. Okay, so this is going to be bulk, and these are 3 bananas, and these are 3 individual. And let's say I'm gonna put them I don't know, on my counter, and I'm gonna take a picture of them. I'm gonna, you know, write down observations. Okay, all bananas appear yellow. Yeah, all bananas appear yellow, no dark spots, or all bananas are greenish, no dark spots, whatever you see on your bananas day 1. And then for, if I were doing this one, right, I'm thinking room temperature, fridge, or, you know, room temperature, fridge, or freezer. So then here I would have 3, right? Again, a bulk of 6 bananas, but here I would divide them into two sets. Okay, and one would go in the fridge, one in the freezer, and then one in room temperature. I'm just going to put room. Okay, and then again, every day I would go and observe these bananas and see, you know, how's the fridge one doing? Is it growing brown spots, right? Or is the room temperature one? Okay, so there's 2 different ways you can go. But if you are doing this lab, this one over here, you are going to need plastic wrap. Okay, you're not going to need that much. Make sure that it's wrapped tightly. Tomorrow, I'm going to set up both. So tonight, maybe, I might do a video on individual wrapping and bulk wrapping with 6 bananas, and, you know, also getting this one ready for you guys, you know, just showing you how to cut them, separate them. Your homework for today, guys, bananas. And if you're gonna need plastic wrap, and if you don't have plastic wrap, plastic wrap. And that's pretty much it. You're gonna get your bulk of bananas and your plastic wrap, or your bananas, and we're gonna put them in the freezer, in the fridge, in the room temperature. Okay, that's it for today, guys. And make sure you take your notes. For your exit ticket for today, I am asking for a picture of your notes. All right, have a great afternoon, guys, and I will see you tomorrow.